He's a rational investor, dividend digester. Save some of his paycheck just like all his ancestors. Him looking for high yields, that's never the case. He's seeking 6% return. Slow and steady wins the race. We pay our debts in our currency that might be unfurled if it's no longer the reserve currency of the world. Confidence in the dollar is permanent. Just ask any scholar. People are exchanging their dollars for dog money. Dog money? Dog money. Dog money. We trading it in for dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. I'm putting it all in dog money.
Yes, indeed, some people are putting all of their money into dog money. Welcome to Satoshi's Bitcoin Chart Show. This is the Bitcoin forecast, the strength of the system, the health of the network, where we find out what's up with what is going down. Today's date is Monday, the 4th of October, 2021. Let's Bitcoin and jump straight into these figures. Here we go, rock and roll. Starting from left to right, we've got Corecoin BTC, SegWit protocol, centrally owned, planned and controlled by Blockstream. Ever since they altered the protocol on the 24th of August 2017, implementing SegWit, segregating the signatures on the chain, meaning they're accountable to nobody, bringing it under their centralized control, turning BTC from a commodity into a security, crashing its fundamental value to zero, but that was always their intention. Anyway, well done them. Then we've got Bcrash, again centrally owned, planned and controlled by Roger Ver and his crony mates. Then we've got Fisher Price, again centrally owned, planned and controlled by an ex-Bcrasher, Anne-Marie Saget. And then finally we've got Bitcoin, the original protocol. It hasn't changed, it goes right back to the Genesis block, making it the real Bitcoin, the true Bitcoin, the genuine Bitcoin. And the world's first and only ever digital commodity, backed by the value of data sovereignty, making it the most valuable commodity on Earth. Yes, indeed. And let's have a look at these figures. Then on Corecoin, we've got a hash rate 98.4, network nodes 93.4, but transactions only 22%, and block size, which is data going on chain, 0.6%. And it's data that is the actual commodity. Absolutely ridiculous. It just goes to show you there is absolutely no data in any of those transactions whatsoever. It is absolutely pathetic. But when you consider that BTC started out as Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, the commodity backed by data sovereignty, something has clearly gone wrong. So we'll just let our favourite douchebag of Bitcoin, Pete McCormack, see if he can explain it for us right now. So take the floor, Pete, if you'd be so kind.
Bitcoin is so different now from when Satoshi was here.
Yeah, well, when Satoshi was here, Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. How far away from that are we now?
It's a completely different project.
And what would Satoshi have to say about that?
It doesn't matter who Satoshi is anymore.
And what if you came back and said something like, what the hell do you think you're doing, effing up my project?
Even if Satoshi came back, I don't think he would just be immediately welcomed as having this God-given right to decide what happens with Bitcoin. I think he would have to earn his right back into the project.
Earn his right back into the project? I just thought you said it was nothing like Bitcoin. It's a completely different project, and it didn't matter who Satoshi Nakamoto was anymore. Why would he want anything to do with a project that is nothing like the one he started, that is Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system? This makes no sense whatsoever. So in your opinion, what's this alternative project based on now then?
Bitcoin is built based on consensus now.
Consensus? Do you know what proof of work is? Do you understand the significance of a chain of signatures? Did you even bother to read the white paper? Blockstream implemented SegWit on the 24th of August 2017, segregating the signatures on the chain, meaning they're accountable to nobody. So there is no consensus because they centrally control the project. You utter fool. But because you make me laugh, I'll let you have one more go at trying to convince me.
Project Bitcoin is built based on consensus now.
Are you sure about that, Pete? Because it didn't sound like it to me. And then we got Bcrash. So Roger, tell us your expectations for your centralized project. That is Bcrash.
And we're going to really spread Bitcoin Crash across the entire country here in Antigua.
Yeah, good luck with that, mate. And what do you say to all those multinational corporations that do billions, if not trillions of dollars of global trade on an annual basis, that say they need a regulatory compliant monetary system in order to do so?
The ones that say that the blockchains all need to be legally compliant about everything all the time, just go use your Visa card.
Yeah, because that's going to work. And then we've got Bitcoin on the end here. So we'll just have a look at these figures here. So hash rate 0.28%, network nodes 1.06, transactions though 86%, knocking on 70%, but block size 99.2. That's the data flowing on chain. That's what Bitcoin is all about. It is backed by data sovereignty. It is the world's largest, most efficient data system the world has ever seen, providing data privacy, economies of scale, and data security. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's an extension of our own personal liberties. So, Craig, can you tell us, what do you want from Bitcoin?
I want Bitcoin not to go up to 10,000 or 100,000. I want it to be worth millions per Bitcoin.
And when you strip it all down to the bare bones, is that it?
That's it. And that's what we spend money for. Very simple.
Loving that. Let me help out and I'll stick my foot right in. So if you're wondering why I find it funny that the genuine Bitcoin has got 68% of the transactions and 99.2% of the block size, but only 0.28% of the hash rate, let me explain. Bitcoin mining operations compete to process data transactions on chain. No transactions, no use. No use, no value. No value, no money. The most valuable chain is the chain with the most utility on it. BTCs are utter clowns. Can you see what's going to happen? Oh yeah. But Craig, can you tell us what can we expect from Bitcoin in the future?
At nChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts, basically ones that can run operating systems. That's all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, with payment channels, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
And the derivatives market is estimated to be between $800 trillion and $1 quadrillion alone. Yes, indeed. And that sounds absolutely fantastic. So let's have a look at these block sizes then. But while we're having a look at these, we'll just have a quick chat with our main man, Michael Saylor, to perk us up in the morning. So, Michael, tell us, what do you say to people like Peter McCormack who think that Bitcoin should be changed and tampered with and just messed around with?
I like Bitcoin the way it is.
Oh, so do we, Michael, so do we. But we really like it. How do you compete with that?
In fact, I love Bitcoin the way it is.
All right, mate, calm down, calm down. Well, you can't just leave it there. You're going to have to explain yourself. Tell us, what is it about Bitcoin that you love so much?
The way it's currently constructed, it is possible to put all $250 trillion of monetary energy.
Whoa, $250 trillion of monetary energy. Where's that going to go?
In big blocks of encrypted energy on the blockchain.
They do sound like big blocks. What sort of numbers are we talking about?
Maybe the Bitcoin will be 1 million. You can probably calculate $10 million of Bitcoin or something.
Wow, $10 million per Bitcoin or something. I mean, how's it going to fit and where's it going to go?
Big blocks, $100 million chunks on the blockchain.
Is that right? Let's have a look at these big blocks on the blockchain just for you then, Michael Sunshine. So, via BTC mining a block under a megabyte. Yeah, dear oh dear. So calling out the megabyte blocks 1, 4, 62, 33, 350, 376. What's this? Dutch mining 0.7. What the hell? SV pool 5, unknown 3, 946, almost a gigabyte, 315, 139, 256, 164, 33, 16, 11, 72. What a 2 gigabyte block. 11, 19, 962, 329, 313. Gone are the days when we were celebrating 10 megabyte blocks. Good grief, 2 gigabytes. The acceleration and progress is absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a look at Fisher Price Cash. Yep, still struggling to get all of their blocks over a kilobyte, let alone anywhere near a megabyte. Bcrash 2 blocks this morning over a megabyte. Good grief. And Corecoin, let's see what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks under a megabyte. Dear oh dear. Honestly, and no blocks at 2 megabytes either. And we're on 2 gigabytes. Just goes to show you how utterly pathetic these other networks are. Honestly, ridiculous. Let me just change this a little bit. There we go. That's what I'm after. Brilliant. This is hash rate by network. So hash rate follows price, follows value, follows utility, follows creativity, initiative, and intelligence. If you are intelligent and you apply creativity and initiative, you can make something useful. When something is useful, it can then create value, and it creates value, it can then develop a price. When it develops a price, it can then be measured against the cost of other goods and services and used as a medium of exchange. Boom, next. Proof of work by network, Coolcoin, Bcrash, Fisher Price Cash will fall into their own footprints because that's what Ponzi schemes do when they crash overnight. It's currently 4,457 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than it is any of these alternative protocols, shitcoins if you will. And look at this, it's currently 10.3% more profitable to mine on Bitcoin. I wonder if that's due to the fees in the block. Very good. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network, Bitcoin absolutely smashing it. Transactions by network, Bitcoin smashing it. Transactions per block by network, Bitcoin smashing it. Where are we per block? Fees USD again, so USD is speculative. Fees Satoshis, that's more like it. Bitcoin smashing it. Fee, so this is a block fee to block reward ratio. And if you're wondering what this red line is going to look like, let me just show you. The red line is this a solid blue line here, so we can see as the block reward continues to get cut in half every 210,000 blocks. The fees increase due to the transaction volume and utility on the chain, meaning that we then have an economically self-sustaining system. It is absolutely phenomenal. I love Bitcoin. Daily accumulated Bitcoin blockchain growth by network. Look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this, in fact, we will look at this proportionally. Yes, indeed, because it needs to be admired. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely parabolic. Brilliant. Brilliant. Let's have a look at this on 3 months. Right, where are we now? So we have got a 1.2 terabyte. A 1.2 terabyte chain. Absolutely huge. And that's in comparison to Coolcoin that's only got a 372 gigabyte. Look at that. We're already on 1 terabyte and 260 gigabytes. And Coolcoin is only on 372 gigabytes alone. Absolutely pathetic. Let's get into the politics then. So global hash rate 7 days, yet global hash rate 24 hours. That's going to look like Coolcoin. That's the Coolcoin hash rate 24 hours. Pooling up there. Yeah. SBI crypto on there. So this is Bcrash. Again, what an absolute joke this is. So again, these boys haven't even been hoodwinked by the ticker symbol. Literally complete and utter waste of time and energy on this protocol. And no excuse whatsoever. Utterly ridiculous. Fisher Price Cash, again, a total joke. But this is Bitcoin, the only protocol, the only digital protocol with any fundamental value whatsoever. So we've got Tau 43%, SV Pool 18.7, good to see that. Dutch Mining wanting some for some reason. And they've managed to get more hash rate on there than via BTC. I wonder if they've done a deal with someone somewhere. Who knows? And then other mining pools, right? So the reason we're trying to squeeze the shitcoin enterprises off the chain is because the only thing they understand is dollar worshipping, which leads on to price manipulation, which we will look at now in the short positions. But let's just see how far we are in front of the chain. Look at that, 950 gigabytes in front. We are only 50 gigabytes away from being an entire terabyte in front. It's massive. It's massive. It's massive. Brilliant. All right, short positions. Let's have a look at Bitcoin then. Here we go. So 90% short positions on Bitcoin. Dirty traders. Ridiculous. Shitcoiners. Shit for brains. And Coolcoin. Let's have a look at this. What short positions here? So only 3.65% shorts, even though it's fundamentally worthless. Honestly, just goes to show you how ignorant the entire space is really. And Bitcoin Blocks Live, let's have a look at this. Let's refresh the page. Come on, let's do this. So for any newbies watching this for the first time, the vertical rectangular blocks moving across the top of the screen are the transactions being recognized by the nodes on the network. And they're recognized instantly the moment they're broadcast because Bitcoin is an ultra small world mandala network constructed like this. It means as the size of the network increases, the density of the links goes to zero, making an ultra-small world and highly sparse respectively. The network formulation can lead to an improved topology against malicious attacks, so it's hard to take down. So all of those illustrations that you see of Bitcoin as a mesh network spread throughout the world, it's not a mesh network. It is a mandala network like this. Absolutely phenomenal. So once the transactions are broadcast and recognized by more than 50% of nodes instantly, they're then thrown into the memory pool, which is where they're competed for by miners and payment processors. In order to create a block, put the transaction within a block and then place the block on the blockchain, which is when they're rewarded with the Coinbase data, otherwise known as the block reward, otherwise known as freshly minted Bitcoin, along with the fees. So let's have a look at this 2 gigabyte block. So we can see the fees there were 727. Let's have a quick look at this on what's on chain. So fees, five Bitcoin in fees. We need more than 6.25 for it to be an economically self-sustaining system, but we are getting there. And what's good about this page here is that you can actually scroll over. If you scroll over these transaction generators here, you can actually see which transactions belong to them, which I did yesterday, which I thought was quite cool. Usually the line of transactions is all across the top. I saw Bitcoin on absolute fire yesterday. It was amazing. And doesn't really seem to be too much going on this morning. It's very, very slow transactions coming through, but never mind. But while we're looking at this page, let's have a look at charts quickly. Always worth checking. Yeah. So while we're looking at this, we'll just listen to Laura Shin and Dan Held explaining the significance of block fees right now. Here we go.
So, as you mentioned, at a certain point when the block reward stops, there will be a transition where miners will be compensated in transaction fees, not in the block reward. And the current amount that they earn is from fees is about 9% of the block reward. And so we'd have to see transaction fees 11x by roughly 2140, which is when the new Bitcoins will stop being minted. But I just wondered, if we don't see an increase in the amount of transactions that can happen at layer one, because the number of layer one transactions is limited. And right now, I feel like a lot of the scaling is focusing on layer two. Can transaction fees 11x in that time, or will that require people to pay a lot more per transaction?
Over the next couple halving cycles, we should see it start to predominantly be the value that is compensated to the miners in the block reward. If Bitcoin is the world reserve currency that doesn't have a strong security model, like there's not a lot of monetary compensation in the block reward due to transaction fees, well, then its long-term security will be weak. If it is the world reserve currency, there'll be very, very many layer one transaction fees.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like you think it is possible that the amount in transaction fees will maybe not be enough on layer one to replace the block reward when the time comes.
Absolutely, there won't be enough to replace the block reward when the time comes because they've purposely restricted to 1 megabyte, meaning it can only handle maybe 4 to 7 transactions per second if all the stars in the universe align. Do you honestly think a network that could only handle maybe 4 to 7 transactions per second was honestly meant to economically sustain all of this? The whole concept is absolutely laughable. This is the backbone to the new global financial system, the world's first ever commercial internet, where we have data sovereignty finally. So we're not uploading our data onto a corporate server that can simply snoop and spy on us. This is what the world needs. It's absolutely phenomenal. Blows my mind every time. Let's have a look at BitInfo charts. Where are we now? 18.5. That's all right. Holding its own, but we know XRP 34.6 in Ethereum. 30.8. Well, we know that XRP is absolute bag of bones anyway. Good grief. So knowing that XRP is absolutely and utterly fundamentally worthless and a security, we'll just listen to David Schwartz, the Chief Technical Officer at Ripple Labs, explain just that. Take the floor, David Schwartz.
The XRP is a digital asset. It's censorship resistant. It's publicly traded. It trades on the XRP ledger. Ripple does not own or control the XRP ledger in any way.
Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
So how did Ripple then get all the XRP that it has? It has about half the supply. So just how did that particular transaction happen?
So the way its design works is when the ledger first began operation, the 100 billion XRP, all that will ever exist, were sort of up for grabs. And lots of people grabbed XRP out of that system, but it just so happens that obviously, just like early miners mined, huge amounts of Bitcoin before the public knew about it or was using it, early XRP users grabbed large amounts of that pool of XRP. And so the people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
Yeah, because they grabbed it. One more time, David.
And so the people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
Yup. All right, and now we'll just listen to Vitalik explaining that Ethereum is a security.
You just described some crypto as securities. Which ones do you think of as securities?
It's pretty clear, and the Supreme Court has actually spoken about this many times. If somebody is raising money, selling a token...
Start the Ether presale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether presale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether, where Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
And the buyer is anticipating profits.
What we're hoping is that sort of similar to what happened with Mastercoin. If that slice is something like 20%, and then the value of Ether goes up by 5, then we basically have the entire initial BTC that we got all over again.
Based on the efforts of that group.
About 100 people that are working on Ethereum right now.
Myself leading the protocol design.
And we also have branding teams, we have marketing teams.
That fits into something that's a security.
Partially in order to better flesh out the business plan, partially in order to better flesh out the terms, partially for legal reasons.
Brilliant, nice one, Vitalik. Thanks for that. Let's have a look at this on the 24-hour chart. Then always worth looking at every day. Oh, down. We're going back up again. We are coming for you. Yes, indeed. Bitcoin scaling test network, just looking at the figures here. Yeah. Okay, well, we know the highest transaction rate on the scaling network might be 19,000 per second, but we've also witnessed shadows do 50,000 on Terra Node. Looking forward to that. It should be released very soon. BSV data, let's have a look at daily data size. That's what we want. MetaID now producing 13.6 gigabytes of data. Good grief. They are storming ahead. Absolutely storming ahead. Let's have a look at applications. So we have a look at crypto fights and run protocol. Daily data size. Showbuzz 1.5 gigabytes. Crypto fights 1.1 gigabytes. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So even just between the two of those applications, we would probably surpass the BTC chain size in 6 months. Oh dear. Oh dear, honestly, you've got to laugh. Trends.cash, what's going on here? Come on, Trends.cash, come on. Can't let us down now. Oh no. Oh well, gonna have to move on. Crypto Quant, yep, so the exchanges were cashing out all last year, causing a squeeze in the liquidity. Huge amounts of Tether printing caused a spike in the price, creating this massive bubble. And this is why Tether had to start printing again, because the exchanges were cashing out. Look at that. They know. They do indeed know. Everybody will be offloading soon, but unfortunately, it's Darwinian theory. Those who have committed the crime, telling the lies, know that they're lying, so they will get out, and they'll still be telling everybody to hodl. All these shitcoiners with shit for brains. Unfortunately, I'm doing my best to educate them and reach them, but talking to them is literally sometimes like talking to a plank of wood. Crazy. Let's have a look at what's on chain. Good question. What is on chain? Estimated next block size 327 megabytes, very good. Memory pool usage 333. Transactions over 24 hours 672,345, very good. Huge amounts of data in those transactions, loving that. Let's have a look at Joho's memory pool. So this is what a memory pool is meant to look like. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. What it's not meant to look like is Corecoin BTC. Look at that, absolutely shocking. People just don't know when their transactions are going to be received because they purposely restricted the block size, implemented replaced by a fee that allows for double spends, child pays for parent, told people not to use it, built the Lightning Network instead, which is a centralized system back to fiat currency, so the miners can't support the system. It is absolute shambles. But we can see the effect that it's had on TX Street. While we're looking at this, we'll have a quick chat with Adam Back, the Chief Executive Officer of Blockstream, to find out his expectations of a payment network.
So, fee estimation in some cases is quite bad. If you're paying a friend, you can probably afford to wait 4 hours and not pay a priority fee.
I'm just not going to wait 4 hours to not pay a priority fee when I'm using a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, you fool. And a median fee, 50 cents to add, so remember to add that to every high-frequency trade. And Ethereum, $5.26 transfer fee. Absolutely insane. So how do you respond to that, Vitalik?
The Internet of Money should not cost 5 cents a transaction. It's kind of absurd.
It is kind of absurd, isn't it? It's what you call $5.26, you idiot. And let's have a look at the M1 money supply. What do we know about excessive money printing?
Statistical analysis has found that every time an empire begins to near its own demise, you'll find that its currency will be debased.
And that is exactly what we're witnessing here. We can see back in 1960 there was only $140 billion in circulation, but by 2010 that had risen to $2 trillion. But then by 2020 that had risen to $4 trillion, and then in just a few months it went from $4 trillion to $16 trillion. Literally, there is no justification for printing this level of money unless you're intending to bribe a portion of the population to look the other way while you depopulate the planet. And if you're wondering why they're trying to jab everybody, that's the reason. Right there. You think I'm joking. And CoinGecko, so knowing that Bitcoin is the only thing that can save us, how are we feeling about it today? CoinGecko, feeling good. 81%. Loving that. CoinGeek coming at ya. Oh, $141, very good. It looks like Prev is actually in the top left of the picture frame, reporting a price of $189. Don't quite know where they're getting that from. Anyway. Bitping, check it out. So money flow per hour, 84 cents, and the country 74. So remember, Bitcoin. Somebody actually wrote to me the other day and said that the Bitcoin network just simply monitors other networks when the other network systems pay for it. So it doesn't monitor them all the time, but just for clarification. But I mean, look at that. It looks brilliant. These other networks just don't understand that they will all be running on the Bitcoin network very soon. Just like they run on the World Wide Web, the entire thing will be lifted off the web and put onto the Bitcoin network. Everything, including phone calls, emails, you name it. Everything, videos, social media, all data will go on chain. Everything will be on the Bitcoin network. Everything. Amazing. And the morning run, so a 24-hour trade volume, good, $1,200. Stay away from this, people. Move fast and break stuff does not mean breaking the law, of which all these shitcoins do, because they're all illegal security offerings. Why anybody would buy them is beyond me. It's not like people in the space should know who I am by now, and I've been saying this every day. So we've had 659,933 purchases of Bitcoin over the last 24 hours, the only digital asset with any economic fundamental value. Let's have a look at Live Coin Watch. Here we go. So this is BSV, $140. Yeah, okay, upsy downsies on the chart. Depth chart. Oh, figures are going up. Look at this. 7 million bits versus 5 million asks. Wow, that number's growing. Excellent. Loving that. Could be a little indicator of what to expect after the CoinGeek conference. Loving that. And let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD. Also, we had a price pump there, and then it's come back down again. No surprise, really. Let's have a look at Coolcoin versus USD. Oh, look, upsy downs. No manipulation there whatsoever. And Bitcoin versus Coolcoin. Let's have a look. Oh, Bitcoin winning. Bitcoin winning. We'll take that. Come on. Come on. And let's have a look at the entire CMC. Where is Bitcoin? Remember, none of these data protocols have any fundamental value whatsoever. They are literally utterly worthless bits of data. We're currently at number 53 in the charts. So knowing that BTC has got absolutely no fundamental value whatsoever, the question has to be asked, what is it that makes BTC valuable? Well, we'll just listen to Daniel Kraus putting that question to Tony Vase right now.
Why do you think BTC is valuable?
It's valuable because it's the only unconfiscatable asset we have, and that is because that comes from its decentralization. I think Bitcoin is the only valuable crypto asset we have because of the nature of how it started in its first few years.
And when you say Bitcoin, you mean BTC, right?
Absolutely.
But are you aware that in 2017, they changed the rules so that BTC no longer follows the Bitcoin white paper.
That is not true at all.
The white paper says that there needs to be a chain of signatures.
Sure.
Okay, so that's not what we have anymore. That's how SegWit changed that.
Okay, but it's still Bitcoin.
Waka waka waka, nice one, Tony Bone. You see the kind of imbeciles that we're dealing with. How can it be Bitcoin if it doesn't follow the protocol? Absolutely ridiculous. It's the protocol that defines what Bitcoin is, because Bitcoin is digital. Honestly, unbelievably stupid, and that's being complimentary. Let's have a look at Streamanity. So how am I doing in terms of followers? I had 311, 312, another follower. Excellent, thank you very much. You know, heading in the right direction. Don't I make any more money from my videos? Remember, try making money from your videos on YouTube when you only get 6 views. And let's have a look at Twitch. So I made $121 so far. Loving that. 433 followers. Let's have a look at Twitch statistics. It was over like 14, 15 hours. There we go. New users 28. Lovely jubbly. Loving that. And Ruth Eastman's epic tweet. Mama Bitcoin, how is she doing? Still at 1,120. Dear, dear, I like it every day. Are they going to leave it there? That should be tens of thousands by now. It's crazy. That's got to be one of the most suppressed tweets ever that actually hasn't been banned. And our man Satoshi, how's he doing? 79.9 thousand followers. That should be should be like hundreds of thousands by now. Doing well there, lovely jubbly. Stablecoin printer that's not very stable in their reporting of stable coins. Lots of USDC being reported there. Let's have a look at whale alerts. How we doing? 1 hour. What's this? XRP being moved from Neo to Binance. Oh dear, they're going to be dumping $120 billion on using on exchange that probably won't even exist by the end of this month. Good grief. Oh, not legally anyway. So 10 hours, 13 hours, nearly there, 15, 17. What's this? USDT, $123 million being moved. And what's this? $81 million of Binance USD being burnt. Oh, what an absolute joke. Burning money. Good grief. 23 hours, 20, and there we go, right. Shout out to Keith Fellows and KP Dad and Arcade Rob in the house. It looks like I'll tell you the figures. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll catch you guys later. Get paid for posting your pics on Relica. Download the app now at www.getrelica.com. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on micropayment platforms such as Streamanity, Twitch and Relica. We should profit from our data, not the large corporations who track, monitor and sell it. If you enjoy the Bitcoin content that I produce, please support me by heading over to www.satoshi.tv, where you can keep up to date with all the latest news, gossip and content as it's created. Thanks very much. To get started in Bitcoin, go to freebsv.com, where you can claim your free Bitcoin. Then head over to Twitter and follow @IamSatoshi, where you can take part in his very generous and world famous free giveaways. The future of advertising meets the power of Bitcoin at Tonic Pow. Get paid for posting advertising campaigns to your social media profiles. Go to www.tonicpowads.com.